you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay, cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency, a message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me, respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy, hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe, I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down, they wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down, they wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt, they're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Hey. I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all time.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Tino's Time, as we are here today to get you ready for the championship, baby. After 16 long weeks, drafting your teams, setting your lineups, picking up waiver wires, dealing with the injuries, the bust of the years, everything that comes along with being in the fantasy football leagues that we are in. If you made it, it's championship week. It's down to 2. You either win, you're taking home that trophy, or you're winning second place, and you got to hear about how you lost in the championship for 1 whole year. So your boy Tino is here today to help you guys set that perfect lineup and make sure we sit here next week and we are celebrating a victory and we are toasting as we are celebrating being the champions of our leagues. So guys, let's not waste any time today. We're going to get to the chat, but make sure you guys leave your questions, your concerns. How are you guys feeling about this week? Did you guys make it? Did you guys make the championship? Did you guys get eliminated? We're going to go over everything that happened in the semifinals. And then, like I said, I'm going to help you set that perfect fantasy football lineup as we get ready for the championship. And like I said, we try to take home that trophy and all the glory over all the people in our league. So let's start with those headlines. And I see Justin, I see Isabel, I see the Sports Capital, I see Eric. So I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Thank you guys all so much. Appreciate it. Let's get to the headlines though. What a wild weekend it was. It started on Saturday. We were here on Christmas Eve. We were watching the games, and it was a wild one. The Denver Broncos, though, they decided to get rid of Nathaniel Hackett after that awful Christmas Day game versus the Los Angeles Rams, where they gave up 51 points, and the Denver Broncos are finally getting rid of Nathaniel. The J.J. Watt era is over. J.J. Watt has announced that this will be his last season. He will be retiring after this year, and to star, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, will be gone, and it's going to be weird to see him, and it's sad that the man never got a ring like he should have, and he deserved to have, but it's one of those things. It's good for my man J.J. Watt to get and settle down and put up the cleats. He had an amazing career, and it's going to be weird to not see him on the field. Can we talk about these stars bust in the semifinals? DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Miles Sanders, Stephon Diggs, Mark Andrews continues to be a bust, Ramondre Stevenson, and so many more, guys. How did we think that when we were sitting here 4 weeks ago, that Cam Akers would be one of the top scoring running backs to lead you to a championship, and we're sitting here not being able to start Miles Sanders because he's just not having a good game, and it just, I don't know, these stars are just, I don't know. It is what it is. I guess that's what we call fantasy football, guys. And like I said, it's championship week, baby. So let me make sure if you guys made it to the championship, I got you set, because I'm going to help you and I'm going to give you everything you need. So we make sure that you're celebrating at the end of Monday night as we end the fantasy football season, guys. Monday Night Football next week with the Cincinnati Bengals going up against the Buffalo Bills. It's Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs going up against Joey B and Jamar Chase. It's going to be a good one on Monday night, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fantasy matchups and a lot of championships decided by that game. And speaking of Monday Night Football, let's take a look and let's go back to what happened this past Monday night. After last night, what we saw Austin Eckler scored 2 touchdowns. He put up 23 fantasy points. And the guy that I was facing needed 38 fantasy points from Austin Eckler. Thank God he didn't get that. But the Chargers defense looked great. The Colts looked awful. The Colts are a disaster. I don't know what the Colts are doing, but Nick Foles could not do anything. At one point, he was 1 for 7 with no rushing or no anything. It was just a disaster to watch. So if you had Austin Eckler, you put up 23. Keenan Allen had 20. Justin Herbert only had 11, but I mean, it did the job for a few people, I guess. I don't know. But that Monday night game, guys, we were live last night for Best of Raw, and we were live for Monday Night Football. I thought it was going to be better, but it was not. So that was the Monday night game, and that's really all that we could really say about it. What's up, King Frosty? What's up, bro? How you guys doing? So that's the Monday night football game. And now that we talked about that, let's get into all the injuries that happened, because there were a lot of them to a lot of big name guys that if you had them, or if you had some of these guys, they're out. And some of these guys hopefully return for the fantasy championship, but I don't know how we're going to feel about starting them. So let's start at the top. It happened on Christmas Day at 12 o'clock. Christian Watson in the second half decided that his hip hurt, and he did not play the whole second half. So we got to keep an eye on that. Jalen Hurts, after Gardner Minshew did everything he possibly could, he went out there and he tried to do his best. Jalen Hurts is trying everything in his possibility to be able to play. Mike White says he will start. He's starting. Zach Wilson, it seems like the Jets are moving on from Zach Wilson in the end of the year. Might be Mike White's team next year. Aaron Jones, guys. Aaron Jones rolled his ankle the first play of the second half, and literally he almost costed me my spot in the championship in my league, because he did not play. He got a few points, not very many, but he rolled his ankle. A.J. Dillon seems to be getting the ball a lot more. They're going, and they've got to play the Vikings this week. I know the Vikings defense is bad, but I just don't know if I can trust Aaron Jones in the championship with A.J. Dillon getting as much work as he is. Tony Pollard has a thigh injury. They do play on Thursday night. And speaking of Thursday night, guys, King Henry, Derrick Henry that is, yes, Derrick Henry, could possibly not play. So keep an eye on that, moderate it, and see what happens. Because if Derrick Henry does not play, that's a big blow for people like me that made it to the championship because of King Henry. And I may not have him this week. So keep an eye on it. It is only Tuesday, so a lot could happen in 2 days. Hopefully he practices today. I didn't see anything updated by the time that I started recording right now, guys. So if you guys do see anything, Eric, if you got any information about anybody, let me know. I appreciate it. But we also have Greg Dulcich. Greg Dulcich, the tight end, I should say, for the Denver Broncos, has a hamstring injury. And those hamstring injuries, guys, could be as bad, and you know how they are. So I think that we'll just have to keep an eye on it and see what happens. Lamar Jackson has a knee injury, guys, and Lamar Jackson has not played. We've seen how bad that has been for Mark Andrews and everything like that. So I think that you got to keep an eye on that and see what happens with Mark Andrews, and not even Mark Andrews, to see what happens with Lamar. Because, guys, I might be telling you to sit Mark Andrews this week. I don't know if I can trust this guy. He's just not doing it for me. So now that I did that, and now that we talked about that, let me talk to you about the 3 things I did learn this week before we do talk about those disappointments and the top players and the guys that led you to a victory this week. And let me talk about it and let me talk to you first about it, because I mentioned it in the headlines. The studs don't matter anymore. They really don't. It could be the best. We could think we have the best players in the league. It means absolutely nothing. Because if you were going to tell me that some guy that wasn't DeAndre Hopkins was going to be the number 1 wide receiver on the Cardinals in the semifinals, I told you were crazy. If I would have told you we would be relying on guys that we didn't think we would be relying on in the beginning of the year, I would have told you were crazy. But here we are. So the studs don't matter. It matters about what these teams are doing. And I guess fantasy football, I said it last week, fantasy football is a job, guys. And it's becoming even more with all of the even crazier stuff that seems to be happening. So you just got to remember, and next year, it might not be that easy to draft a stud and hope and think that it's going to be easy to win. Fantasy football is also, guys, it's pure luck. Let's be real here. Last week, a guy that I faced and a guy that had a bye week scored 186 points. And then this week, his team comes in and scores 126 points, or actually, I think like 132 points, and I barely win by like 15 points or 14 points because of just luck. It's all about luck. It's not, like I just said, the studs don't matter. It's all about luck. Fantasy football is pure luck. And the last thing I learned, actually the last 2 things I learned, is we could trust others over Andrews. We could trust Evan Ingram. We could trust TJ Hawkinson. We could trust even the dude from the Titans. There's a lot of guys that I feel like I can trust at the tight end position more than a Mark Andrews than I did before. And the last thing that I learned this week, just a little extra, is the Packers hate us. Maybe it's because I'm a Bears fan. Maybe that's what it is. But I think the Packers just dislike me because Aaron Jones, I needed him to do really good, and he did not do absolutely anything, and he just had a really bad week. A.J. Dillon had 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers didn't care who he did it to or who he passed it to or ran it to. He didn't care. So I think the Packers just hate us. And Aaron Jones is another one, guys. I don't know what to do. So speaking of guys that have been straight up disappointments and guys that just hate us, let's talk about those disappointments for the semifinals. That if you had these guys, hopefully you survived, if like I did, and you are in the championship. I got lucky because I started Evan Ingram over Mark Andrews, and if I didn't start Evan Ingram over Mark Andrews, I only would have won, I think, by like 4 points or something. So Mark Andrews got 7.5 points, but as I mentioned, Evan Ingram got 18.5 points. Travis Kelce did, TJ Hawkinson got 35 points. I mean, there's other tight ends that we can now trust over Mark Andrews. When we were coming into the season thinking Mark Andrews was the number 1 tight end in the league. Aaron Jones, 5.4 points. A.J. Dillon had 2 touchdowns. He had more catches than Aaron Jones. I don't know what it is, but A.J. Dillon continues to get used more and more, and I think that it is a very good possibility that we see that happen this week again versus the Vikings. So Aaron Jones may be a sit this week. I don't know, guys. If you have better options, you may want to think about sitting him. Ramondre Stevenson, he had a fumble. He had 3.3 points. He did not do what people needed him to do, and it was just not a good week, and it was just not a good thing for Ramondre Stevenson, not at all. So if you had Ramondre, I'm sorry, but you may have lost in the semifinals. Brian Robinson, guys, we talked about this. We knew this was going to happen. You don't start running backs versus the 49ers. You don't. It's that simple. The 49ers have literally become that defense that you can't start anybody against. So we knew this one was going to happen. Brian Robinson only had 5.8 points, and hopefully you were smart enough, like I told you to sit him. Miles Sanders, this one was a big one for guys that had him. He only had 6.1 points. The Cowboys defense did what they had to do. They started off a little rough after the Eagles got the pick 6. They were kind of flustered, but then they picked it up. The Cowboys obviously won that game. Jalen Hurts is trying to play this week, but Miles Sanders may have costed you a chance to be in the championship because of what he did on Saturday on Christmas Eve. Stephon Diggs. You guys can say what you want about my Chicago Bears. That Chicago Bears defense played pretty good versus the Bills. I mean, yes, they ended up winning by a lot, and yes, it is what it is. But I will say, Stephon Diggs didn't do that good. Kyle Gordon, Jalen Johnson, they did their thing, and they kept him to only 4.6 points. So, Stephon Diggs, I mean, yeah. Now, imagine you draft Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins in rounds 5 and 7, hypothetically. 5 and 7. You're feeling good. You got a great receiving core. And you go into the semifinals and they get you 6.2 points together. That is not a good, that's not good. Or what is it? Well, let me see. 5. So it's 7 points combined they got you. DeAndre Hopkins, yes, we had Trace McSwirly in the game, and yes, it wasn't Kyler Murray or anything, but shit, it's DeAndre Hopkins. Just chuck it up there. We'll just chuck it up there. Just chuck it. He'll go up there and catch it. He got 1 catch for 4 yards. What are we doing here? I just don't get it. I just don't understand it, people. But DeAndre Hopkins had himself a really bad week, and it was just not his week at all. So, those are the disappointments of the week that we had here in Week 16, the semifinals. But now let's get a little positive here on the live stream, and let's talk about those 10 guys. If you started these 10 guys, you're probably riding into the championship, and you're feeling good, as you hope, and you hope that these guys do the same thing this week as they do next week, or as they did last week, this week, so you take home that trophy. But before we do that, guys, remember, if you're here in the live stream, if you're enjoying the episode, make sure you guys like, subscribe, Make sure you guys turn that notification button on. We hit 600 subscribers last night, and then all of a sudden I woke up this morning and there was only 592. So I don't know what happened, but we got to get back up to 600, guys. So make sure you guys subscribe. Leave your fantasy football questions. I'll answer every single one. Make sure you guys leave them before I head out. Last week I saw a few people ask questions as I was leaving, and I don't want that to happen. So if you got any fantasy football questions, starts, sits, whatever it may be, let me know, and just we'll get to all of them. I got you guys. But let's get back to all the info, and let's talk about those top 10 performances of the week that if you had these guys, they led you to a championship, and you're going to the championship, guys. TJ Hawkinson, I just mentioned his name, starting him over Mark Andrews if you had a chance to get both of them. TJ Hawkinson put up 35.9 points. He did his thing, and he had himself a great week 16, a semifinal absolute banger of a show. Cam Akers, where was this in week 2, 3, 4, 5? If Cam Akers was doing this all season, I might have been in the championship in my other league too. Cam Akers did absolutely nothing all season, then all of a sudden on Christmas he learns how to play football. And actually the last few weeks he finally learned how to play football. So we may be able to trust Cam Akers now in the fantasy football leagues. And we may be starting him in the championship, guys. 34.7 points, did his thing. The Rams destroyed the Broncos, and it wasn't even a Christmas Day game. It was a Christmas Day massacre on Nickelodeon. I don't know if you should have showed that game to the children. CD Lamb, though. CD Lamb, 34 points, did his thing for the Cowboys as he got 2 touchdowns from Dak Prescott. He broke a couple tackles. He walked his way in, and he had himself a good time. Justin Jefferson might be the number 1 wide receiver taken off the board. Yes, I know he got 3 less points than CD Lamb, but this guy is so goddamn consistent that it doesn't matter who he faces, what team it is, what defense, who the quarterback is. Justin Jefferson just goes up there, he catches the ball, and he scores fantasy points. And from a wide receiver, that's all we want. Devontae Smith, I didn't think he'd be a good play this week, and that's my bad, because I thought he wouldn't do that great with Gardner Minshew, but here we are. 31.3 points. He also got 2 touchdowns. He got 118 yards, and I think he got about like 7 or 8 receptions, if I'm not mistaken. So, Devontae Smith, if you have him, you may need to start him this week with Jalen Hurts coming back, with the Eagles playing, and I just, yeah. So, Devontae Smith, guys, may be lineup proof, and you may need to have him in every week. Tyler Higbee, the Rams did their thing, as we said. He put up 30.4 points, and I think he was the number 1 tight end, and George Kittle only missed him by 30 points. George Kittle had 2 touchdowns. He had a couple long touchdown catches, and George Kittle put up his points, and if you had him, hopefully he led you to a championship. Joe Burrow putting up 39 points, throwing touchdowns left and right, not caring who it is. He's throwing it to Trent Irvin, Tino Irvin, who knows, maybe. Trent Irvin, let me know. You want to take over the Tino name too? Let's go, bro. Saquon Barkley, he got 27 points. Saquon Barkley, if you drafted him and you took that chance, 27 points in the semifinals is good to go. Patrick Mahomes might be the number 1 quarterback taken off the board next week. It doesn't matter who he is at his display. Weapons, they got rid of Tyreek Hill. They got rid of this guy. They got rid of that guy. And this guy still continues to put up fantasy points left and right. 32 points, did his thing, and hopefully Patrick Mahomes led you to the championship. And guys, that is what we have here for the recap of the semifinals. So now that we did all that, let me talk to you, and let's get ready, like I said, to set that championship lineup. And let's get ready to preview the championship week 17 of the fantasy football and the NFL season, guys. Also, as I mentioned, remember, I'm going to keep mentioning it too, just so you guys don't forget, this week will be the last NFL football live stream of the season, when we will be live for both 12 and the 3 o'clock games. So make sure that you guys join me on the last NFL football live stream. I got a vote going on right now. I want to know how you guys feel. How did you guys enjoy the NFL live streams? Do you guys like it? Do you feel like they're too long? Do you want me to do different games? What do you guys want to do? What do you guys think? Let me know how you guys feel about it. And while you guys do continue to vote, make sure you guys leave your questions, and I'll make sure to answer them after we get done with all the information. We'll go through all the questions, all the comments, all the concerns, and then we'll sit here and hang out for a little bit. Remember, Tino's Tuesdays, it's a doubleheader here, so we'll be live also tonight for NXT. But enough about me rambling, and let's get to all the good information that I have here for you, that you have and that you need to set that perfect championship lineup, everybody. And let's get started with those bold predictions. And honestly, guys, this might be the only thing that I'm good at here on the live stream, because everything else that I seem to put on here isn't very good. Let's take a drink of water first. And now let's get to the bold predictions. We got the Broncos. I am saying the Broncos fire Nathaniel Hackett. They're going to bring in an interim head coach, and they're going to beat their Chiefs. I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to beat, I'm not saying the Broncos are going to kill the Chiefs. But what I'm saying is the Broncos may win by a field goal. I mean, it is Sunday. Any given Sunday, guys. You don't know, but I want to call it. Allen and Burrow are going to combine for 10 touchdowns. This is going to be like that Rams and Chiefs game on Monday Night Football. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was in Mexico City. And they just put up points left and right. They didn't care who was this. They just put up so many points. It's going to be a great one. And my last bold prediction, the Panthers beat the Lions this week, and the Bears are going to end their 8-game losing streak, and the Bears are going to defeat the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions are going to slip farther down, and they're going to have a shot, and they're not going to make the playoffs. So I'm saying the Bears are going to take that W this week. What's up, Eric? What's up, bro? Thank you for coming and hanging out. Eric W in the building. We got Eric D in the building. Thank you guys all for coming and hanging out. We got 2 Erics here. So those are my bold predictions for the week, guys. And now that I gave you the bold predictions, let's get into that waiver wire, and here are my top 5 waiver wire pickups for the championship week. And remember, there's no teams on bye, so we're good with that. No bye weeks, so we don't got to worry about that. But let's get to those top 5 waiver wire pickups, and let's get to all the good information that we need so you guys can pick up the right players, start them, sit them, and stream them. So we, like I said, set that perfect lineup. And with my number 5 waiver wire pickup option, it's Jahan Dotson, guys. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter if it's Carson Wentz, if it's Taylor Heineke. Jahan Dotson is getting more points than Terry McLaurin. He's getting more points than Logan Thomas. He's getting more points than Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson. He's doing everything that Jahan Dotson, we didn't think that he would be doing. And he's a guy that I did not think we'd be picking up and starting in the championship week. But if you do get a chance, go pick up Jahan Dotson and start him this week for the Washington Commanders. Isaiah Hodgins. Isaiah Hodgins, who you're saying? Isaiah Hodgins from the Giants. Go pick him up. Daniel Jones having themselves a good game last week. I think Daniel Jones is going to do very good, and I think it's going to be very interesting. So go pick up Isaiah Hodgins if you need a wide receiver, if you're struggling, if you don't know what to do. Just go pick him up and trust me. Tyler Aguilar. Go pick up Tyler Aguilar from the Atlanta Falcons. He's getting way more carries, way more receptions than Cordell Patterson, than anybody on that team. He's scoring double-digit points. And for a flex option, if he's still out there going up against the Cardinals, go pick him up. I mean, we saw what the Buccaneers did to that Cardinals defense. So go do what you got to do to get Tyler Aguilar. Mike White, he says he will play. So if Mike White's playing, you pick him up and you start him or stream him this week if you have not and if he's still out there. Mike White, we're going up against the Seahawks. Mike White, Garrett Wilson gets an upgrade. Elijah Moore gets an upgrade. Bam Knight, is it Zion Knight? Or we're just going to say Bam Knight. We're just going to go with Bam Knight. But I think the Jets with Mike White are a way better offense than Zach Wilson. And I think that Zach Wilson is going to be way long gone in New York after the season. And my last and my number 1 waiver wire pickup for the championship week. I can't believe I'm saying this because I own the other running back on this team. But it is true that A.J. Dillon is the number one running back, obviously, in the Packers right now. He seems to get the ball more. Aaron Jones isn't being used as much every game. It seems like he's losing snaps. He's losing carries. And if his ankle is that bad, can we just rule him out so we can figure out different options as as Aaron Jones owners, I forget his first and last name. I was just putting it together. But A.J. Dillon, guys, if you need a running back, go pick him up versus that Vikings defense and possibly start him this week over Aaron Jones. I don't know what to do about Aaron Jones, guys. You guys might need to give me some advice because I don't know. Yeah. So those are my top 5 waiver wire pickups of the week here on Tino's Time. And now let's get to those starts, the sits, and the streams. But instead of starting with the starts like we always do, let's start with the sits. And I'm going to tell you the guys you need to take out of your lineup before I tell you all the guys you can put in your lineup for the guys I'm going to tell you to take out of your lineup. Because these guys don't have good matchups, and I'll give you guys that have better matchups that I feel better playing in the championship week if you're survived and if you're playing for that trophy in your league. But let's start with the guys we need to get out. Derek Carr, 49ers, I mentioned it, 49ers defense. I don't want any part of it. I don't care who it is, what his name is. I don't care if it's LeBron James, Michael Jordan playing for the team. I'm not starting them against the 49ers. Derek Carr, you got to go, bro. I'm sorry, but I'm not starting you in the championship game. Also, the Raiders and the 49ers. I'm not telling you to sit him, but I'm telling you to beware of Josh Jacobs. I just mentioned running backs. We saw what Washington did. We've seen what the running backs do versus the 49ers. It doesn't matter who's on the team or what team it is or if he could be the best run. It could be Walter Payton right now. And I don't know if I'm starting Walter Payton against that 49ers defense. So beware of Josh Jacobs. The other running back or the other quarterback I'm telling you to sit this week, Russell Wilson going up against those Chiefs. Maybe Russell Wilson has himself a good game. But after what happened last week, I just don't know. And the only reason why it gives me optimism, why did we see and why did we need that awful game on Nickelodeon? So I think that you sit Russell Wilson this week against the Chiefs in the championship. The Panthers running backs. Honestly, I don't know if you're sitting them, but I'd be aware of Deontay Foreman, and you might want to start Chuba Hubbard over Deontay Foreman at this point. The Colts running backs. The Colts running backs did absolutely nothing last night against the Chargers defense. Chargers defense have been absolutely awful against running backs, and the Giants couldn't even, the Colts couldn't do anything. The Colts are facing the Giants this week, I should say. So, I don't know if I'm starting the Colts running backs against the Giants, because after what happened yesterday, I just can't trust it. The Broncos wide receivers. Let's get to those wide receivers. The Broncos wide receivers, besides Jerry Jeudy, I don't want anything to do with anybody else because the Broncos are a disaster. They can't do anything right. Russell Wilson is the worst passer rating in the league. All he did was go to Denver and steal all that money from them. I love Russell, but they need to let this guy cook because they are just spending money just to say that they have Russell Wilson on their team. Come on now. The Cardinals wide receivers. I don't know if I can trust DeAndre Hopkins against and with Trace McSorley or however you say his name. I just don't know. DeAndre Hopkins had 1.14 points, 1.4 points, and Greg Dortch got a lot more of the receptions. He had like 9 receptions for 90 yards right around there. So, Cardinals wide receivers, I don't know if I can trust them. And I told you to sit Derek Carr. Yes, Darren Waller came back, scored 9 points for you in the semifinals, but that 49ers defense, I just said it, that 49ers defense I want nothing to do with. So, 49ers defense, Darren Waller, sorry, bro, you're going to got to go on the bench until next season. Noah Fant going up against the Jets. The Jets defense is really good, and yes, Aaron Rodgers had a great game, and yes, he led them to a win, but Robert Tonyan didn't have anything really going. And again, I just don't know if I can trust Noah Fant going up against that good Jets defense in the championship. And I'm going to tell you, yes, we've been starting in the last few weeks. They put up 14 points last week. They had themselves a really good game. But Monday Night Football. Don't you dare start thinking about starting the Bengals or the Bills defense, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to be a good time for either one or anybody that would start any of them, because the Bengals and the Bills are going to put up points, and it's going to be a banger of a show. So those are my sits of the week, and just make sure you keep those guys out of your lineup. So now let's get to the starts of the week. And now that I told you to take those guys out of your lineup, let me tell you all the guys I feel like you can put in your lineup that makes me feel a little bit better going in and sitting here on Sunday watching the games, waiting for them to end to find out if you won the championship. My starts at quarterback this week, it's Trevor Lawrence going up against the Texans. Trevor Lawrence has been on some type of a roll lately. Evan Ingram's been on fire. Marvin Jones has been on fire. Not really. Christian Kirk has been on fire more. Zay Jones has been on absolute fire. Travis Etienne has been very good. So Trevor Lawrence going up against that awful Texans defense, the awful Texans defense. I think Trevor Lawrence is a great start this week. Justin Fields versus the Lions. I said in my bold predictions, this is the week the Bears are going to win, guys. Bears are winning this week. I'm calling it. The Bears are going to win. Taking home the W. It's going to be a good time. So let's see it happen on Sunday on NFL Fox. And then we got Travis Etienne. Worst running defense. We saw what Derrick Henry always does versus them. And yes, they've been a little bit better. But Travis Etienne, I'm telling you to start Trevor Lawrence. You start Travis Etienne this week. Cam Akers. Okay, Cam Akers, you've proven to me. And here you go. You made the start list for the first time all season long. Cam Akers going up against that Chargers defense. Yes, the Chargers defense is good, but their run defense is still not very good, and I think that Cam Akers could have a better game than Zach Moss did against them on Monday night. So Cam Akers, I'm going to start you this week, and you show me that you can be a good running back. Jalen Waddle going up against the Patriots. Jalen Waddle almost gave me this much of a heart attack on Saturday, guys. Or on Sunday, I should say. Because Jalen Waddle out here catching an 84-yard pass for a touchdown. And I'm sitting here like, damn it, my season's over. I'm like, this man's going to put up 200 yards. This man's going to put up all these points. This man's just going to do everything. And thank goodness he didn't, because Jalen Waddle almost did and put up so many more points than he absolutely had to. But going up against that Patriots defense, Jalen Waddle, even though Tua is in the concussion protocol, we'll have to see what happens. It is only Tuesday. But I feel comfortable starting Jalen Waddle. Christian Watson is out. Or not out right now. He's day-to-day with an injury. If Christian Watson is playing this week, you start him against that awful Vikings defense. Evan Ingram, he's the number one wide receiver, tight end, whatever you want to call him at the moment, at the time, going up against that Texans defense. I'm telling you to start Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne. You also start Trevor Lawrence a second. Honestly, I think he's his first favorite option, but he could be a second or third. But that Texans defense, Evan Ingram, great option this week in championship week. Dallas Goedert going up against the Saints. Dallas Goedert came back last week. He got a few catches. Jalen Hurts hoping to play this week. So if Jalen Hurts is playing, start him. If it's Gardner Minshew, I'd still start him against the Saints. The Giants defense, I'm starting them. Did you guys see that Colts offensive line? They gave up 7 or 8 sacks last night. The Colts offense is awful. The Colts defense is awful. The Colts defense has got to be one of the worst I've ever seen. They can't do nothing. They can't stop anybody. I could go run there and I could score a touchdown at this point, because the Giants have just not been very good. So, Giants versus the Colts, I think you could start that Giants defense. And now, guys, let's get to the streams of the week, and let me get you those guys that I think you could stream this week for the guys I told you to sit in the beginning of this segment. Let's get to the quarterbacks. If he's playing, Mike White going up against the Seahawks, you start Mike White and you stream him if you're struggling at quarterback. Daniel Jones going up against the Colts. You saw what Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler did last night. The Colts seem to give up points to no matter who it is, and I think the Colts would be a very good option for Daniel Jones to have a very good game against. A.J. Dillon, if he wants to continue to score touchdowns, I guess we're just going to have to put you in our lineups. A.J. Dillon going up against the Vikings. put him in your lineup if you're able to get him, or if not, then I don't know what to tell you, but I will tell you this. If you have better options, guys, you may want to sit Aaron Jones, because if Aaron Jones goes out there and puts up 6 points in championship week, your boy Tino's coming on the show next week and having a mental breakdown. But two guys I think that you can stream this week is Brian Robinson and Jahan Dotson of the Washington Commanders going up against the Cleveland Browns. Brian Robinson's been very good, and they're not playing the 49ers this week. So we're going to put Brian Robinson back in our lineups in championship week if you survived last week after that Commanders defense or offense couldn't do anything against the 49ers defense. Greg Dulcich, guys, if you have this guy, make sure, I should say Greg Dortch, not Greg Dulcich. Greg Dulcich is the tight end. Greg Dortch from the Arizona Cardinals. If Trace McSorley is facing Trey McSorley, if he's starting again against that Atlanta Falcons team, and they're going to be whatever they do, I think that he could possibly be a good play this week. And I think that, for the Arizona Cardinals, and I think it would just be very interesting to see what would happen and what would go down if he does starting, because it seemed like him and Trey had a very good connection, and he was looking his way more than he was looking of the way of DeAndre Hopkins. So I think that Greg Dortch is a good play. Now let's get to those tight ends. CJ Uzomah versus the Seahawks. Mike White's in the game. Even though if it is Tyler Conklin, start the Jets tight end, whoever it may be. CJ Uzomah, Tyler Conklin, especially if Mike White is back. Dawson Knox going up against the Bengals. I want every piece of every part of this game in every which way. The Bills and the Bengals going to be a banger of a show to end the fantasy football season, guys. I cannot wait to see what happens. So I'm streaming Dawson Knox this week. And last week, I told you guys to stream this team, and they did good on Thursday Night Football. I did not stream them myself, but I should have, because they put up 16 points. The Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Houston Texans offense. They seem to not be able to do anything. If it's Jeff Driscoll, if it's Davis Mills, if it's Tino, if it's McSorley, if it's McFly, if it's McLovin, if it's Eric, they can't do anything right. So I'm sorry. Jaguars, they might win that division, and they might be taking their advantage after this week, because the Titans face the Cowboys, and they might not have King Henry, and the Jaguars get to go face the Texans. But then again, who knows? It's any given Sunday, any given day in NFL, and anything could happen. So I'm going to say to stream the Jaguars. But guys, remember, I could just tell you what I think is going to happen. This is not all what's really going to happen, because I'm sure next week we're going to be sitting here, and some of these things that I'm telling you are going to happen, they are not going to happen, and we're not going to have a good time. But I will be here, and we're going to try to do it. So now let me tell you the 3 games that I think that are going to be fantasy gold. And speaking of the Bengals and the Bills, I think that's going to be the game of the week. My 3 games that will be gold this week, where I think you could start everybody on these games, is the Bills and the Bengals. The Bills and the Bengals Monday Night Football to end the fantasy football season is going to be one hell of a show. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, Devin Singletary, so many guys. I cannot wait to watch this match on Monday Night Football next week. It's going to be great. We got the Cowboys. We got the Titans on Thursday Night Football. Yes, it might not be the greatest game, and whatever. But I think you can still start a lot of guys in this game. And when I say games that will be gold, I mean games that I think there will be a lot of fantasy points scored. So the Bills and the Bills and Bengals, and then the Cowboys and Titans. Even if Derrick Henry does not play, which I think he will, he does have an injury and everything, but let's be real. Is Derrick Henry really not going to play when the Titans need a win to be able to stay alive and make sure that they are playing the Jaguars next week for the division? I'm just saying, let's be real here. I think Derrick Henry will play this week, but we'll have to see what happens. And then my last game of the week, it's the Bears. It's the Lions. I'm trying to get the Bears a win this week, guys. I'm trying everything I possibly can. And the Lions, they got demolished by the Panthers and Sam Darnold last week. The Bears are on an 8-game losing streak. The Lions are trying to stay alive in the playoffs. And I think the Bears and Lions, the Bears defense does really suck. So I would start all your Lions. I'd start Justin Fields. I'd start Cole Kmet. I'd start David Montgomery. I'd start all your Bears that you have. And I would do what you got to do and hope that for Tino's sake and Tino's sanity that the Bears beat the Lions. Because I hope, I don't know. But, I mean, the best case scenario, though, would be if the Texans win like 9-3 versus the Jaguars, and then the Bears lose, and then the Bears get the first overall pick. So, I don't know. I guess it's a win-win either way. The Bears lose, we get a higher pick. The Bears win, the Bears win. So, we'll see what happens. But those are my 3 games that are fantasy gold, guys. And let's now get to, and now let me tell you, my 3 guarantees of week 17 that is going to be happening in the Fantasy Football Championship. And as you guys know, I say guaranteed, but let's be real. We can't guarantee anything that's going to happen this year anymore. But let's try it this week. This week will be like no other. This week is going to be like the whole fantasy football season. I guarantee you guys, we're going to see guys that nobody started, guys that has no name, guys that we don't even know that they were on the team right now, that are going to score fantasy points, and they're going to be stealing them from the guys that we actually started. So, I guarantee you that's going to happen. I also guarantee you, now that Nathaniel Hackett is gone, I bet you and I guarantee you the Broncos are going to play way better. I just don't know if Nathaniel Hackett was ready for an NFL coaching job. I don't know if he was ready to be the NFL coach. I just don't think he was ready for all that. So I think the Broncos will be way better this week, and they may possibly win. I said it. They may beat the Chiefs. The Bills and Bengals, I've been saying it all episode long, guys. I guarantee you it's the game of the week. It's got to be. Monday Night Football, it decides so many fantasy leagues with Joe Mixon, Devin Singletary, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, so many guys. It's going to be the game of the week, and it's going to be the game everybody wants to watch. So, guys, that is all the information that I have here for you on the championship week preview and the semifinals recap. So now, guys, let's get into the live chat. Let's see what everybody's doing. If you guys have any questions, I see we got 5 people here. So if you guys got any fantasy football questions, let me know. Make sure you guys subscribe to Tino's Nation, as we are only 7 people away to 600, guys. So make sure you guys join the nation. That is Tino's Nation if you have not yet. So now let's get in and let's see what everybody's doing. We got Isabel in the building. What's up, Isabel? Thanks for coming and hanging out. Isabel says, oh, okay. Isabel's talking about the vote. Guys, I also put a vote up. You guys let me know. Do you guys enjoy the NFL weekly live streams? Isabel says, I love your streams, but I feel like 6 hours is a lot for you. Isabel, I'll be honest. It is a lot for me. But, I mean, I like doing it. It's fun hanging out with you guys. But I'm thinking about maybe doing something different next year. I'm thinking about doing something different next year for the weekly. We'll be live for something on Sundays. I just don't know what yet. So, it was good. I just don't know if we're going to do that next year. But we will be live for something next Sundays, or on Sundays next year. We got 8 months to figure it out. But I want to see how you guys, I want to get your guys' feedback and see what you guys think and what you guys thought about it this year. And then we got my man Justin in the building. Justin, what's up, bro? It's your boy Tino. And he says it. It's the Witty Bowl. It's Tino. It's Justin. It is for the championship. It's Tino's time. It's the Black Sox. Who's taking home the ring? Who's taking home the glory? It's the last 2 champions. Justin won it 2 years ago. I won it last year. Who's taking home the ring? And who's taking home the Winnie Bowl and the championship in Tino's league? It's going to be a good one, Justin. I hope you come and hang out. He says, what's up, Tino Nation fam? What's up, guys? Thanks for coming and hanging out. We also, guys, got the Sports Capital in the building. My man Sports Capital is now only 97 subscribers away to 1,000. So if you guys haven't yet, go check out the Sports Capital. Go check out what you guys are doing. Go see him. Go subscribe and help this man get to 1,000 before the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023, as we got to help each other and let's help everybody. So go subscribe to my man, the Sports Capital. Muncie, what's up, bro? Eric, what's up, bro? What's up, my dog? How you doing? Free my man's Dom. Free my man Dom. I don't know, bro. Dominic kind of fucked up. Dominic done fucked up, bro. Dominic did not. Did you go? I did, Eric. I did. Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir, I did. I did go to the ship. Tino is going to the championship in his league, guys. I was a little scared with Austin Eckler last night, but I had 38-point lead and he only got 23. So we were good. So after starting 4-8, I had to win the last 2 weeks. I won. I finished off 6-8. I finished off the 5 seed. And now your boy Tino is in the championship, facing the second best team in his league, which is my cousin Justin. And as I said, it's the Witty Bowl. It's Justin and Tino. Let's go, as Justin said. So, thank you, Eric. I appreciate you asking. What's good, King Frosty? What's up, bro? Everybody, if you guys haven't yet, go check out my man, King Frosty. King Frosty's also got a live channel, so go check him out. We got Eric in the building. What's up, Eric? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming and stopping by. I appreciate it, guys. Where were you when you found out that Kobe... Where was I? I was actually at my friend's house, and I was actually watching it, ESPN, and they had, like, breaking news, and I was, like, in shock. I was like, damn. I was like, that's awful. He says, no, the Texans need a quarterback. Chicago doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, the Bears don't need a quarterback. So why can't the Bears just have the number 1 pick? See, I just want to have the Bears have the best opportunity to get anybody that they can. Because I know the Bears, and if somebody gets taken that they want, they're going to have a mental breakdown and not know what to do. So, that's one of my reasonings, but we'll see what happens, Eric. What's up, Santa Claus? Ho, ho, ho. Everybody, also, if you guys did not see, we will be watching Elf. You guys voted, and after another great voting category, you guys all voted for Elf to be the Christmas movie watch-along that we will be watching on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time here on Tino's Time as we watch that. And then we watch the Cowboys and the Titans Thursday Night Football. So I hope you guys will join your boy Tino on Thursday as we watch the last Christmas movie watch-along and our last live stream on Thursday of 2022, like a Thursday of 2022, is we're going to be watching Elf, guys. So let's see what else is going on in the chat. We got Santa Claus. Fantasy Claus is here. What's up, Fantasy Claus? What's up, bro? Boo, jingle all the way. Got. How did it get screwed? How did it get screwed? Bro, how did it get screwed? Santa says, I got a question. What's your fantasy football question? Tino, I'll get you a fantasy win. Fantasy Claus is here. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We gotta get Tino to become the 2-time champion, guys. I've been doing my fantasy football now, I think, for 3 years. And I've won. If I win this year, I'll win 2 out of 3 years of doing my fantasy football show. So obviously I'm doing something right if I'm telling you guys and I somehow make comebacks and lead yourselves. And, yeah. And if you guys don't believe me, let me show you. Because I will show you guys. Let me show you that your boy Tino is in the ship. Let me show you. I'll show you my screen. Let me show you Tino in the ship. If nobody wants to believe me, just in case. I just want to make sure everybody believes me. See? Oh, well, you guys can't see. No. Well, why the hell? Not even see it. See? Round 3. It's your boy Tino. It's the Black Sox. It's Tino versus Justin. I just wanted to show you guys. I've been looking at this all night like a lame ass. I'm like a 12-year-old kid when it comes to fantasy football. I want to win. So guys, Eric said, "Oh God, you're funny," because it should have won. I mean, you're absolutely it should have, but you should have had more people vote. Speaking of the vote, you guys do apparently like the NFL Football Weekly live streams. Okay. At one point, we had like no votes for yes. I was like, well, okay, then I guess there's my answer. But you guys apparently love it. So, guys, that is all that I have here for you, though. We're all caught up on the chat. I gave you all the information that you guys need. You guys got any more questions for me? Let me know. I'm going to go over what we're going to do here the rest of the week here on Tino's Time. And if we don't got any questions, we will be going for the rest of the day. But we'll be back here tonight for NXT, guys. So make sure you drop your questions before we head out, because I said, and I know I saw a few people last week ask a few questions. So I hope you guys will make sure you guys get them. And if not, make sure you guys drop them in the comments below, and I will answer all of them. So let me now tell you what's going to be going down here on Tino's Time, and then I'll get back and see what everybody else is saying, if there's any more questions. So let me tell you, we're starting, and we're starting it tonight, guys. We got NXT, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come back here on Tino's Time, as we have Tino's Time doubleheader, and we watch NXT, and it's the last NXT of 2022. And then next week, guys, on NXT, it is New Year's Evil. I think is it next week or the week after? It's either the next week or the week after. It might be January 10th. But we're getting close to New Year's Evil, as we are on the road to 2023. And then AEW, guys, it's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Come and hang out as we smash in the new year with AEW Dynamite, and we watch all the great action that's going to go down on Wednesday night. So make sure you guys come and hang out with your boy Tino as we watch the last AEW Dynamite of 2022 as we ride into 2023. And then Thursday, as I said earlier, guys, you guys voted. We will be live at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time as we are going to watch Will Ferrell this holiday season discover his inner elf. And we're going to discover our inner elf. So you guys make sure you come and hang out. You grab your elf hat and we watch some Elf and Will Ferrell on Thursday night. And then Friday night, guys, we'll be back here for the last live stream here on Tino's Time of 2023 or 2022, I should say, before we get to 2023. Friday night SmackDown. We got the return of the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT, the 16-time world champion. You can't see him, and you can't see your boy Tino, but John Cena's returning on Friday night to team up with Kevin Owens to take on half of the bloodline, Sami Uso, Sami Zayn, and the head of the table, Roman Reigns. We're also going to see Karrion Kross and Scarlett, Gunther, Rey Mysterio, Liv Morgan. Sure, we're going to see the Brawling Brutes. We got Legado del Fantasma, so make sure you guys come and hang out for the last Friday night SmackDown and the last live stream of 2022, as like I said, we ride into 2023. I'm already getting ready to say 2023 because 2023, guys, is going to be a big year for your boy Tino. We will not be live on New Year's Eve. We're going to celebrate. We're having a little party. We're going to go and hang out with some friends. But guys, we'll be back here on New Year's Day for the last week and the last NFL football live stream of the year. This year, I should say, in the regular season. We will be live for the playoffs. Don't you guys worry. I'll still be here for you guys during the playoffs. But it's the last regular season live stream that we will be watching the noon and the 3 o'clock games and being live for those 6 hours. So come and hang out and hope that those perfect lineups that we did set here on Tino's Time follow through, and we can be here a week from today celebrating and toasting to a championship victory as we all take home that ring and the trophy, and all the other guys in your league can cry and take home the L. So, guys, I appreciate all of you guys coming and hanging out. We got a few more questions, so let's see what Eric's got to say. He said, who do you think Roxanne's first challenger will be? I say Zoe or Cora. I will say maybe Cora, but they are also kind of getting ready for Tiffany to come back, Tiffany Stratton. Maybe we see Nikita Lyons. I don't know, but I'm sure those are a few of those people. But I'm going to go with like the easy answer, and I'm going to say Cora right now. And then he says, do you think Grayson wins? I do not think Grayson wins. I do not think he's going to win the championship. And the last question we got, what did Tino get for Christmas? I got Batman Go Them Nights. Well, I got a couple podcast equipment stuff. I got a new mixing board. I got a new ring light. We haven't set it up yet, so I'll let you guys know when we set that up. We got a Tino's Time pen. We got some business cards. I got a new controller. I got a few action figures. I got some money. I got a new gaming chair. I got a lot, Eric. I don't know. I kind of told you guys a little bit, but yeah, I got a lot. So, Tino had a pretty good Christmas. And Tino Claus had a good one, too. So, guys, that's all I have here for you for Championship Week preview and the semifinals recap. Like I said, if you got any more questions, drop them in the live stream, drop them in the chat, and we will answer them. And I'll also put in the community tab right now an open Q&A if you guys want to come and ask any fantasy football questions if you guys weren't able to hang out during the live stream. So, if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys go follow us on SoundCloud and Spotify at Tino's Time Wrestling on Instagram and Facebook, on all the social medias, guys. Tino's Time 1996 on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Instagram on Tino's Time 1996 for football and baseball needs. Hit that like button if you haven't. Make sure you guys subscribe. Like I said, last night we hit 600 and then I don't know what happened. So we're back on the road to 600. We're 7 people away. So guys, make sure you guys turn on that notification button so you know when we go live tonight. Turn that subscribe button on so you guys know and you guys can join the nation that is Tino's Nation, guys. I hope you guys have a good Tuesday afternoon. And until tonight, when we come back here on Tino's Time and we watch NXT, this is your boy Tino, signing out.